Artificial intelligence is the future. I'm sure you've heard that phrase hundreds of times in the past few years, and I wanted to put that to the test. I wanted to see if I could get ChatGPT to make a fully functioning platformer game better than I could. Let's see how he does. Now, the first step to getting ChatGPT to make a game was getting the actual idea for the game. Making a basic platformer game is no fun, so I told ChatGPT that I had to have an original game mechanic to give it a little bit of spice. ChatGPT came up with having the option of flipping gravity upside down, which is good enough for me. With that general idea of what I want, I went to an AI generation website to get the main character design for the game. I tried multiple times to get it to generate a picture the way I wanted, until I eventually settled on this running frame. Now, the fun part is trying to find an idle frame that matched the running frame at least a little bit, so I started measuring with some parameters and got this, which I think is good enough. The next step was to actually do some programming, because that's pretty important in a game. My goal for this ChatGPT challenge is to not have written a single line of code and have it all done by ChatGPT. I decided to just rip the band-aid off instantly and tell ChatGPT the full movement set that I wanted. The prompt was as follows. Dear ChatGPT, please write a C# script for a 2D game where the character is able to move, jump, and switch gravity. Yours truly, Zen.cat. So yeah, ChatGPT gave me the code, and it did work, but I wanted to change one thing. Just one thing. I wanted the player to flip upside down when gravity changed. And when I tell you it took 13 more messages with ChatGPT to finally get it to work, I mean 13 messages. Yeah, it was a mess. Eventually, I was able to get that working, but I wasn't very happy with it. The next step was creating a level for the game that would actually make the game playable, because right now, it's just 2 long rectangles. So I sketched out the basic idea for the level in white, red, and pink blocks. White being walkable, red being unalive blocks, and pink being the goal. The next step was getting the art to replace all the boring blocks. So I replaced the white blocks with ground textures coming from this picture, the red blocks with lasers, which came from this picture, and the pink block with a cookie, because everyone's main goal is to accumulate cookies. All of these were of course AI generated. I think this is a good enough place to stop the challenge because it's become more of a train wreck than I thought it would. Does the game look or feel like I had hoped it would? Honestly, no. In my opinion, it looks like an elementary schooler made a scratch game with stock images that they found online, but I digress. I guess we can finally answer the question of if AI can take over game development, and my vote is no. Now that would be a boring way to end this video. I mean, look at this game. Yuck, ugly. I'm a professional game developer and I will not stand for this. So with this game as a base, I'm going to forget about ChatGPT and attempt to give this game a complete makeover. Quick interruption. According to YouTube statistics, only a small percentage of you guys are actually subscribed to the channel, so if you could smash subscribe, I would appreciate it. Now let's continue. To start this new game off, I completely deleted everything that ChatGPT had worked on, leaving the game with only the character sprite, which would soon be deleted as well. I wanted this game to be similar to the game that ChatGPT made, so I wanted to make a game where you jump from planet to planet. The code for that actually took a lot of tries and I failed a lot, but I did eventually get it working how I wanted it to. Next, I wanted to replace the main character in the game because he has no animations and looks pretty bland. I found this character on itch.io and I imported the character into the game so that he would be able to idle, walk, and jump. Overall, pretty easy. The next step was to replace the background element of the game, which are the planets in the blue background. I found this 2D tuned planets asset on the Unity Asset Store, and it also came with a space background, so I got all the art situated for the game. I also made it so that the camera would follow the character when moving left or right, but wouldn't follow him when moving up or down. This will make more sense later. Then I created the main level design for the game. The idea for this game is that you're going to want to get the player from the starting planet all the way to the sun in as short a time as possible. Next, I would be working on the restart button, which was literally one line of code. I wanted to go ahead and get the menus done for the game, being the pause menu and main menu. I usually like to do something weird with the main menu design, and I think this one's by far the coolest I've done so far. Next was making it so that the game was actually completable, as in has a victory screen, and then I added a speedrun timer at the top of the screen, because I feel like timers always make games just feel cooler. I also made the timer start when you move so that it's more speedrunner friendly. I also wanted to implement some stars that determine how well you did, kind of like the stars that they have in Wii Fit. Finally, the game is finished. I'm really happy with how this game turned out, and I'm glad that I didn't just end the video after making the game with just ChatGPT. Also, here's the fastest I was ever able to beat the game if you're curious. It's unbeatable, so don't even try, but if you want to, it's in the link in the description. Go check it out. If you like this video and want to see more like it, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, because it really does help me out. And also consider joining the Discord channel in the description of the video if you want to join our community. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.